أن فيكم رسول الله لو يطيعكم في كثير من الأمر لعنتم ولكن الله حبب إليكم الإيمان وزينه في قلوبكم وكره إليكم الكفر والفسوق والعصيان أولئك هم الراشدون. The reason I bring this ayah is to understand the state of the Rashidun, the believers that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described as those who are rightly guided. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that there are those who حَبَّبَ إِلَيْهِمُ الْإِيمَانِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made Iman beloved to them. وَزَيَّنَهُ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala beautified and made beautiful to them Iman in their hearts. And in addition to that, وَكَرَّهَ إِلَيْهِمُ الْكُفْرَ وَالْفُسُوقَ وَالْعِصْيَانِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them detest, made them hate kufr, right? Disbelief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَالْفُسُوق, and open sin, and isyan, and rebellion and sin against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So those are the Rashidun. Those who, essentially, in a quick summary, those who love to do good for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they hate to do sin against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? And in order to reach this level where we do good because, not just because we know it's good, but because we love to do it. And we avoid haram because, not just because we know it's bad, but also because we just hate it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us in such a way that haram things are attractive to us. We love to do haram things. That's why we do them. Because we know they're bad for us. We know that it's haram to do this. We know that it's good to do a certain act of worship. But we're not going to do it just because of laziness. Because we'd rather not. And at the same time, we know something's haram, but we do it because it feels good. Or we do it because it tastes good. Or whatever it is. But the Rashidun, their state is different. Where they love to do good, and they know it's good for them. And they hate to do bad, and they know it's bad for them. Right? And an analogy that just comes to mind is, imagine if somebody loves healthy food. Somebody loves smoothies. And they every time they see a smoothie, they know it's good for them. They love to drink it, so they drink it. Right? That's the analogy of someone whose fitrah is, they just love ibadah, they love worship, they love salah. And on the other hand, there's somebody who knows a smoothie is good for them, but doesn't taste good to them. Why would I eat this when I could eat cake? Why would I eat this when I could drink a milkshake? Right? So they know that salah is good for them, but they just don't want to do it. And then there's another analogy of somebody who, loves chocolate cake. Chocolate cake is like, chocolate's their favorite thing. And it's right in front of them, and they know it's bad for them, but they still go for it. Because they're addicted to it, because they love it so much. But then there's the other person who, they know it's bad for them, and they just hate chocolate. So like, why would I go for this chocolate cake if I just don't like chocolate? That's to somebody who hates sin, right? They hate haram. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us where we're not just avoiding things because we know it's bad, and we're not just doing things because we know they're good, but because we love to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we love to avoid that haram. And a dua that we can extract from this ayah, حَبَّبَ إِلَيْهِمُ الْإِيمَانِ, a dua that we can extract from that is, اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان وجعلنا من الراشدين. Right? And this is in Surah Hujurat if you want to reference it. But we're basically asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us love good and hate bad. The month of Ramadan is coming up in just over a month. About 32, 33 days, right? And we want to get to a point where we're entering into Ramadan already loving salah, already in a habit of reading Quran. We don't want to just jump into Ramadan all of a sudden praying 20 extra rak'at, even though we can barely pray our sunnahs right now, right? We want to ease into it. We want to love what we're doing. We don't want to just stand for hours at night and just be tired and just be annoyed. I'm just doing this because it's Ramadan. But we do it because we love it. And it's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight. Right? This process is something that the Sahaba went through so much in order to reach this level, where they loved good and they hated bad. Right? And they still fell into haram sometimes. And they still, were struggling with ibadah sometimes. But we constantly make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us, better and better and better, right? We don't have to love every ibadah immediately. We don't have to hate every sin immediately. But we have to get to that point where slowly and slowly, those sins, we don't even want to do them anymore. Or those good things, we're just waiting for the next salah in order to go back and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to, change our mindset on these sins. Right? Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah, he gives the analogy of sin as poison. That it's not just something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dislikes, and that you seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and then He fixes it. Sins have an actual effect on your body. They have an effect on you as a person, right? On your heart. That the more you sin, you get desensitized to it. And it becomes easier and easier. And he says that if somebody put poison in honey, would you drink that honey knowing that there's poison in it? Nobody would. No one would drink that honey. But that's what sin is. It's poison disguised as honey. And when we know it's there, and we still drink it, right? But we need to change our mindset from it's something that'll feel good, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive me, to something that displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's bad for me. It has an effect on me. So we make this dua: Allahumma habib ilayna al-iman wa zayyinhu fi qulubina wa karrih ilayna al-kufra wal-fusuq wal-isyan waj'alna min ar-rashidin. One more time the translation: O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make iman beloved to us, wa zayyinhu fi qulubina, and beautify it in our hearts, wa karrih ilayna al-kufra wal-fusuq wal-isyan, and make these things that you hate, make kufr, make fusuq, make a sin against you detestable to us, something that we hate, something that we don't even want to be close to. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الرَّاشِدِينَ, and make us from those who are rightly guided. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.